Meghan and Harry, y'all owe me a serious chunk of change that loan for your Montecito mansion. If it ain't paid back in 30 days, I'll have no choice but to take this to court.
It started with a voice slicing through the morning airwaves, steady and resolute, the kind that commands attention without ever raising a decibel. Tyler Perry, the powerhouse filmmaker whose rags-to-riches story had inspired millions, didn't hold back on his radio show that crisp December morning in 2025. Meghan and Harry, you owe me a serious chunk of change for that Montecito mansion loan. If it's not paid back in 30 days, I'll have no choice but to take this to court. The words hit like a lightning bolt, reverberating across social media and tabloid headlines, shattering the polished veneer of the Sussexes' California idyll. For years, the public had only glimpsed the surface, a lavish estate symbolizing their break from royal constraints, a life fueled by media deals, brand partnerships, and charitable ventures. Yet beneath the sun-drenched facades and Instagram-perfect snapshots simmered a different story. One of escalating debts, fraying alliances, and a friendship teetering dangerously on the edge. Perry's declaration was far from mere venting. It was a calculated escalation, born from months of unanswered calls, ignored messages, and growing frustration that had finally boiled over. Whispers from Hollywood insiders suggested the loan originated from Perry's initial generosity, evolving from temporary housing into a substantial financial lifeline. During the couple's chaotic transition, as the statement went viral, questions flooded in. How had a duo once backed by palace fortunes fallen into such fiscal disarray? What intricate web of borrowings had propped up their American dream? Pieced together from leaked documents, anonymous sources, and financial trails, the narrative revealed not empowerment, but entanglement. The mansion, with its sprawling grounds and ocean vistas, now loomed as a gilded cage. Its purchase, a patchwork of favors, loans, and obligations, had created a delicate house of cards that now threatened to collapse. Perry's ultimatum exposed the fragility of their independence, forcing a reckoning that could unravel their carefully curated public image. In an era where celebrity finances are dissected like autopsies, this blow landed like a gut punch. Reactions poured in from supportive fans, decrying the ultimatum as a smear, while critics hailed it as overdue accountability. The stage was set for a showdown that transcended money, touching trust, legacy, and the true cost of freedom. Reports from outlets like the Daily Mail highlighted Perry's growing frostiness in interviews, where he curtly dismissed questions about his aid, stating bluntly that there was nothing to prepare them for this reticence. Speculation ran rampant. Was this simmering resentment over unpaid dues finally surfacing? YouTube channels and social media buzzed with unverified claims of a $16 million showdown, alleging Perry's demand included accrued interest and ignored reminders. Balanced against this, Sussex supporters argued the reports were tabloid exaggeration, pointing to Perry's godfather role to Lillette as evidence that enduring bonds remained. Financial analysts, however, noted the mansion's value had risen to over $20 million, making it prime collateral. The property's history, once owned by Russian billionaire Sergei Grisham, added layers of intrigue. Its purchase marked the Sussexes' bold leap into American luxury real estate. Insiders claimed the initial stay at Perry's Beverly Hills estate in 2020 was more than simple hospitality. It had been a bridge to stability amid threats, transitions, and uncertainty. But as friendships fray under financial strain, Perry's public call-out signaled a shift from ally to enforcer. This airwaves moment was not isolated. It echoed earlier tensions, like Perry's sharp, acid-tongued responses in interviews, where any conversational intimacy evaporated. Social media erupted with debates over fallout, some calling it a Christmas nightmare for the couple amid heightened public scrutiny. The declaration rippled through Hollywood circles, where alliances are as fleeting as box office hits, prompting whispers that other lenders were now closely watching the Sussexes' moves. This wasn't just a debt notice, it was a public unmasking, pulling back the curtain on a narrative of independence that increasingly appeared propped up by others. Goodwill aside, the Montecito mansion had always been more than bricks and mortar. It was a manifesto of reinvention, a $14 to $65 million fortress acquired in 2020 amid the Sussex whirlwind, boasting 9 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a tennis court, rose gardens, and panoramic Pacific views. It screamed arrival and security, a haven for Archie and Lilette, far from Windsor's watchful eyes. But the funding puzzle revealed improvisation over abundance. Public records show the couple secured a $9 to $5 million mortgage, yet sources alleged gaps were filled by private infusions, with Tyler Perry at the epicenter. Initially, Perry extended his Beverly Hills estate as a sanctuary when the Sussex fled Canada, providing not just shelter, but security amid real threats, a gesture he later described in interviews as born from empathy for their plight. Yet insiders claim this kindness morphed into a multi-million-dollar loan to bridge the mansion's down payment, structured informally amid the urgency of their relocation. Perry, a self-made billionaire with a net worth exceeding $1 billion, viewed it as an investment in friendship, not philanthropy. As years passed, however, repayments faltered, strained by the couple's mounting expenses. Recent reports from outlets like Daily Mail highlighted Perry's growing frostiness in a December 2024 interview with the Sunday Times, where he dismissed queries about his aid, leaving public speculations swirling. Some speculate simmering resentment over unpaid dues finally boiled over. YouTube channels and social media buzzed with unverified claims of a $16 million showdown, alleging Perry's demand stemmed from accrued interest and ignored reminders. Balanced against this, Sussex supporters argued the reports were tabloid exaggeration, pointing to Perry's godfather role to Lilette as evidence of enduring bonds. Financial analysts note the mansion's value has climbed over $20 million, making it prime collateral. What was once a symbol of liberation now embodies irony, a debt-fueled dream threatening to foreclose on their narrative of self-sufficiency. As Perry's 30-day clock ticks against the mansion's opulent walls, whispers of vulnerabilities emerge. Long-concealed neighbours in Montecito have voiced frustrations over disputes about estate upkeep amid skyrocketing costs. Media outlets have dubbed it the Sussexes' unlucky mansion, citing challenges from natural disasters to costly maintenance, adding pressure to already strained resources. Hidden expenses, including annual property taxes exceeding $200,000 and security costs, reportedly burdened the couple. Online forums speculate on secret debts, though Forbes estimates their net worth at $60 million, countering claims of dire straits. Still, this saga underscores a shift from royal backing to reliance on Hollywood favors, with Perry's outburst amplifying the narrative of overextension. Ex-users piled on, labeling it a scam and demanding transparency. The mansion's purchase, facilitated by a $1 million mortgage, highlights the couple's leveraging strategy, but as interest rates climb, sustainability questions arise. Perry's role, once celebrated in Harry's memoir, now sours, with insiders alleging Meghan used his generosity as a stepping stone. This story isn't just about real estate, it's about the erosion of trust in a town where image is currency. Perry's claim illuminates only one thread in a tangled financial web, with the Sussex allegedly drawing from a mosaic of lenders to secure their slice of paradise. The $14 to $65 million price tag demanded ingenuity, and whispers from Hollywood's elite suggest borrowings from tech titans, producers, and even distant royal sympathizers. One anonymous source told Radar Online a Silicon Valley mogul extended millions, lured by promises of collaborations that fizzled amid creative rifts. Another veteran entertainment figure reportedly covered escrow fees in exchange for production stakes, only to see returns evaporate. These weren't sterile bank loans, they were handshake deals among the affluent, predicated on the Sussex brand's post-royal allure, blending celebrity with activism. Yet Forbes' analysis from mid-2025 showed over-leveraging, refinanced mortgages at premium rates and credit lines against anticipated Netflix and Spotify windfalls. Their estimated $60 million net worth, bolstered by Harry's inheritance from Diana, and early deals proved insufficient against Montecito's stratosphere. Tabloid reports like those on Vocal Media float figures of $16 million owed to Perry alone, though skeptics argue sums are inflated for clicks. Sussex-aligned media like People magazine emphasise independence, noting no public funds were used. Still, the patchwork funding raises eyebrows. IRS scrutiny hints at blurred lines between personal and charitable assets, with the mansion occasionally dubbed a headquarters for tax perks. Lenders grow wary, and Perry's move may act as a catalyst. Will others follow suit in this ecosystem of favours? Trust erodes fast, turning allies into adversaries. The borrowings, once bridges to stability, now form a noose tightening as projects underperform and investigations loom. Tyler Perry's public salvo didn't just spotlight his grievance, it opened the floodgates for others to air theirs, threatening to cascade into a full exposure of the Sussexes' fiscal house of cards. Staff cuts at Arch, reported by New Idea, signalled deeper troubles, the couple slashing roles amid financial strain, trying to sustain lavish lifestyles while the bills piled higher. Eye-watering costs, security, upkeep, operational overhead were laid bare, with experts warning of a ticking time bomb as media deals dried up. Discussions online amplified this, with users speculating on secret debts and prompting potential sales. Balanced voices on Quora dismissed dire claims, citing the couple's wealth, yet rumours persisted of $11 million in hidden obligations, casting a shadow over the foundations of their ventures. The web of exposure extended well beyond Perry's claims. Reports surfaced of Prince Harry's $12 million settlement aiding cash flow, yet expenses continued to soar. In Hollywood, where fortunes flip overnight, this mosaic of loans revealed real vulnerability. Perry's ultimatum acted as a spark, accelerating the unravelling. As each venture faltered, dominoes toppled, triggering a cascade of unmet expectations and raising eyebrows among financiers and media watchers alike. Arch, launched in 2020 as a beacon of compassion and media philanthropy hybrid, devolved into a quagmire of red ink. Tax filings unearthed by Daily Mail revealed 2024 expenses ballooning to $5.1 million, while donations plummeted to $2.1 million, a stark reversal from prior years. Sources attribute this to lavish outlays, private jets, high-profile events, and salaries for a revolving door of staff. The IRS probe, stemming from a 2024 delinquency, was officially resolved, yet audits linger. NBC News reported scrutiny over potential fund misallocation, with whistleblowers alleging commingling of personal and foundation assets. Spotify's $20 million deal imploded after Arch's initiatives underperformed, criticised for low ratings and executive clashes. Bill Simmons even called them grifters on a 2023 podcast. Netflix's $100 million partnership yielded mixed results. Harry and Meghan's docuseries drew 81.6 million hours initially, but follow-ups like With Love, Meghan tanked outside the top 300, with just 5.3 million views in the first half of 2020, according to The Telegraph. Season 2 flops prompted renewal questions, despite Meghan insisting in October 2025 via Page 6 on continuation. Good Morning America noted extensions for new projects in August 2025, yet Forbes pegged overall performance as underwhelming, with 25.5 million hours across key titles, ranking low. These misses starved revenue streams essential for debt servicing, including Perry's alleged loan. Hollywood insiders cited audience disconnect, superficial content, and a lack of engagement amid economic woes. Failures compounded, Invictus Games overspends, Reddit discussions, and Arch Wells' political entanglements threatened the foundation's tax-exempt status. Without these lifelines, repayments stalled, transforming ambition into liability. Perry's demand landed amid this drought, amplifying the irony. A couple who traded crowns for contracts, only to watch both slip through their fingers. Spotify's CEO admitted the deal failed to satisfy consumers, while Netflix executives felt undercut by $75 million agreements. Expensive failures became public humiliations, with social media users pointing to repeated flops. Critics blamed bad luck, Others cited overambition. Ventures like American Riviera and Orchards struggled, leaving debts unchecked. Deepening the crisis was regulatory glare, transforming private woes into public inquiries that paralyzed liquidity. Archwell's 2024 delinquency notice, though rectified in May 2024 as per NBC News, sparked broader IRS reviews. ProPublica filings exposed unpaid costs spiking to $800,000. GOTV sources alleged manipulation of large numbers, while YouTube channels sensationalized claims of theft from Exact accountants. Though unsubstantiated, these fueled scrutiny. The Foundation's pivot to Archwell Philanthropies in December 2025, announced via Hollywood Reporter, involved fiscal sponsorship to streamline operations, but spokespeople admitted inevitable redundancies, with losses ranging from $1 to $9 million, according to Newsweek. Auditors probed deductions including mansion-related expenses, blurring lines between home and operational hub. Former staff, interviewed by Radar Online, depicted chaos, hasty spending, ignored advice, PR prioritized over philanthropy. This isn't benign. Asset freezes and record demands hinder loan repayments, upsetting financial balance. Sussex statements framed this as evolution, maintaining IRS compliance. Yet critics, especially on Reddit, decried it as a slush fund, urging deeper probes. The timing of Perry's ultimatum exacerbated the strain. Funds locked, settlement options dwindling. In celebrity finance, audits dissect myths, exposing overreach. Perry's call-out, amid these risks, entangled his claim in broader discoveries, turning a personal debt into a portal for exposure. By the end of 2024, liabilities reportedly surged over £600,000. Users on GOTV demanded IRS action, labelling internal expenses, 75.5%, as unethical. The rebrand to Philanthropies, coinciding with the 5-year anniversary, was viewed by some as evasion amid lingering Trump-era subsidy probes. Insiders claim the shift allowed them to claim others' work by dispersing funds across projects, fueling speculation over misuse in fake royal trips and generating calls for criminal investigation. Official statements maintained compliance, but the glare persisted, paralysing progress. The royal schism, festering since 2020, now exacerbated fiscal isolation, severing covert safety nets. Post-exit, the Duchy of Cornwall's millions vanished, as clarified in reports. Charles's funding cessation meant security and perks evaporated, leaving the Sussex to self-fund. Yet their barrage of memoirs and Oprah interviews, plus Netflix ventures, vilified oversight firms as obstructive, according to Express.uk. This alienated potential discreet aid sources, while Charles prioritised the monarchy over bailouts amid health issues. William's stance, noted in Newsweek, focused on stability. Balanced Quora perspectives highlighted private funding permissions, yet Sussex actions cemented divides. 2025 reconciliations materialised, yet Archwell's woes underscored self-inflicted exile without palace buffers. Debts like Perry's loom larger. Ironic for a couple fleeing dependence only to accrue new ones. The rifts cost them external help after slander, leaving them exposed. Post-event notes indicate ongoing royal monitoring, press manipulation, and undermining. The family's struggles have not gone unnoticed. Financial strain bites, with no bailout in sight. As Perry's 30-day deadline looms like a gathering storm over Montecito's sun-kissed hills, the shadow of litigation darkens every corner, transforming a private dispute into a full-blown public spectacle that could eclipse even the mix frenzy. Tyler Perry's legal team, according to swirling rumours on Vocal Media, has compiled an ironclad dossier. Promissory notes, bank transfers, and email chains allegedly detailing the multi-million-dollar loan terms, complete with accrued interest, pushing totals toward the disputed $16 million figure. Skeptics in outlets like Forbes question the sum, suggesting it might be inflated by tabloid hype or misreported closer to $7 million, based on earlier anonymous leaks. If this escalates to court, as Perry's radio ultimatum threatens the Sussex, finances would be laid bare under discovery processes. Tax returns, Asset inventories and deal breakdowns could be exposed, potentially revealing a labyrinth of borrowings from Hollywood insiders and tech moguls. Ongoing Archwell investigations add layers of peril. IRS probes into foundation losses, reported at £1.9 million, along with restructuring to Archwell Philanthropies, could entangle subpoenas, freeze assets, and complicate any defence. Speculation runs rampant. A hush settlement to preserve face, possibly funded by jewellery liquidation or Harry's $12 million payout from tabloid lawsuits, or a protracted court battle dragging in witnesses, exposing the full extent of patchwork debts and failed ventures like Netflix deals. Precarious renewal looms amid financial blows. New York Post insiders cite Perry's motive, per Sky News Australia, as pure accountability. A self-made mogul enforcing boundaries where favours too often go unpaid. Not a personal vendetta, despite his godfather ties. The Sussexes' deafening silence only fuels media frenzy, with royal watchers on Quora and Facebook speculating it masks frantic negotiations or asset hunts. A court showdown could utterly demystify the Sussex empire, proving that debts, like royal scandals, refuse to defer indefinitely. Ex-US threads have been buzzing since early December, with predictions for 2026 marking a year of major revelations. Hashtags like #SussexDebtDrama have been trending relentlessly, and amid growing calls for transparency, the spectre of liens on the Montecito mansion hangs ominously, potentially forcing a sale of their $20 million appreciating asset, valued in recent Forbes estimates. What was once their sanctuary now teeters on the brink, a casualty of unchecked ambition. The hush before this upheaval is palpable, a tense interlude where Perry's airwave bombshell reignites embers of years-long strains, friendships frayed, deals dissolved, and the carefully curated narrative of independence now stands exposed as illusory. The Montecito mansion, once a gleaming symbol of aspiration and escape from palace protocols, now epitomizes overreach. This 6-bedroom, $65 million fortress with rose gardens and panoramic ocean views has become a gilded cage, masking mounting upkeep costs that exceed $200,000 annually in taxes alone, as reported by LA Magazine and other news outlets. Anonymous leaks continue to pour in through channels like Radar Online and Daily Mail, detailing staff redundancies at Archwell and inevitable cuts to stem losses. The tale evolves from glittering intrigue to stark admonition, a cautionary fable of Hollywood dreams colliding with fiscal reality. Will they liquidate assets, perhaps Harry's inheritance from Diana or Meghan's lawsuit residuals, might avert disaster or fund litigation? But each move risks further exposure in a town where reputations shatter like glass. From distant Windsor, King Charles and Prince William reportedly prioritize institutional stability over bailouts, as chronicled by Fox News. Years of bombshells, including title disputes, reconciliations that never fully materialized, and palace tensions have only heightened scrutiny. Meanwhile, Hollywood vultures circle. Producers eye docuseries on the fallout, while divorce speculation in outlets like The News adds another layer of personal peril. William is allegedly preparing contingency plans should the Sussex marriage falter under mounting strain. This crucible tests more than solvency. It tests legacy. The story they sold of empowerment now clashes violently with the unraveling truth of entanglement. Debt, like buried truth, always demands settlement, clawing relentlessly to the surface. As Perry's 30-day countdown ticks with unyielding force, the world holds its breath for the next chapter in this unfolding drama, where silence breaks not with whispers, but with reckonings that echo across oceans and headlines. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment to stay updated on every twist in this royal scandal.